Hello, Catamount families. My name is Travis Bullock, and I'm the Director of Academic Advising here at Western Carolina University. Today, I'm going to talk to you about academic advising, the advising relationship, important policies and procedures, and also help you know more information about offices and support offices to support your new Catamount. This is our contact information, advising.wcu.edu. That is our website. Our email address is advisingcenter@wcu.edu, and our phone number is 828-227-7753. Again, today I'm going to talk about the advising relationship, important policies and deadlines, academics and your students' success, as well as have a little bit of fun at the end of this Zoom session with that transition to college life. So first, every student at Western has multiple advisors assigned to them. They have professional advisors and faculty advisors. The professional advisors on campus, that is their job to assist students and connect them with resources across campus and keep the student informed of important dates, deadlines, and assist them as they change their major or minor throughout their time at Western. The professional advisor, we create their initial schedules for them prior to their attending orientation. We're here to assist them for fifth week grade meetings, initial meetings, major adjustment meetings, questions about withdrawing from a course or courses, impact on their academic standing, and again, bridge them to other campus support offices. Faculty advisors are students' liaison to gainful employment after they finish their degree. The faculty advisor is going to have those high-end conversations about elective selection, when to apply for an internship, when to have your resume updated by career services, and then other opportunities such as graduate school or employment after they finish their programs. Every student is required to meet with their faculty advisor every semester on advising day, which I'll talk more about here in a minute, to go over classes required for their degree sequencing, and the much needed enrollment alt pen for the following term. First thing I'd like to talk about is the academic standing at Western Carolina. Across the board, fostering undergraduate student success started in 2014 with our North Carolina public institutions. Every student must have a 2.0 overall GPA as well as a 2.0 semester GPA. Also, to remain in good standing, in addition to the GPA requirement, is a completion percentage requirement. Every student must pass 67% of their courses for the term and cumulative while they're at Western Carolina University. So for example, I'll talk more about the dates and deadlines in a minute, but let's say a student's enrolled in 15 credit hours. They choose to withdraw from 3 hours. Therefore, they're only going to complete 12 hours at the end of the semester. Completing 12 hours out of the 15 results in an 88% completion percentage. An 80% completion percentage is good standing. Students can add and drop classes at will the first 5 days of the semester. This is very important. If a student is worried about their success in a course, they can meet with their professional advisor, review other course options, or they can simply withdraw from the course on their MyWCU account and add another course. It's often important in reference to look at a degree audit for the student, make sure the courses you're wanting to register for or needing to register for are identified on that degree audit. The number 16 is very important at Western. Students have 16 hours of course withdrawals. As I just said, the first 5 days of the semester, students can add and drop. Adding and dropping during the first 5 days do not impact their completion percentage. After the 5th day at 5 o'clock, students are no longer able to add a class. At that time, they can only withdraw from a course. 5 o'clock on the 5th day starts course withdrawals. You only have 16 hours of course withdrawals for your entire time at Western, so it's important to know what you're withdrawing, why you're withdrawing from it, and if possible, why you should stay in the course and try to make a good grade at the end of the term and have it apply towards your degree. Students also receive 16 hours of grade replacements. If for some reason a student does not do well in a course and they need to retake it, a course can be retaken. You have 16 hours of those. So if you're in a 3-hour course in the spring term, and let's say you make a D in the course in the following term or a later term, you'd like to retake that course and have the D removed from your GPA calculation, you can complete a course withdrawal form or a course repeat form use the grade replacement. When you finish the class the second time, the previous grade, the example I just referenced, the D would come out of the GPA calculation. Even though the D would come out of the GPA calculation, the D stays on the transcript as a repeated course, and it also would count against you in your completion percentage, because you would lose credit and lose the record of completing that course in the prior term. If you have any questions about course withdrawals or grade replacements, you or your student, please contact the professional advisor attached to the student record. Speaking of getting support, there's many support offices on campus at Western Carolina. The advising center in the upper left corner, that's, in my opinion, the most important one, because we connect students with all of the support offices on campus. So when in doubt, ask an advisor and we'll direct the student where they need to go. Office of Accessibility Resources. So as you see on the slide here, they're able to assist with testing accommodations, coaching, alternative test formats, classroom accommodations. Students must go through an intake process with the Office of Accessibility Resources, review documentation, and pending acceptance or permission into that program, they'll provide accommodations for your student. The Writing and Learning Commons, also known as the WALK, they are available to assist students with all course tutoring, subject-based tutoring, in class, virtually in the spring semester. They will help students with writing fellows, group tutoring, individual tutoring, drop-ins, walk-ins. Students can make virtual tutoring appointments through their MyWCU account. Under the quick links, click on Advising and Tutoring, and the student can make the tutoring appointment from there. The WALK assists students with everything other than math. Therefore, we also have a math tutoring center that offers virtual math tutoring in the spring semester. Students can simply log in, drop in to the math tutoring website, or they can go through the Zoom link that they provide for you. Counseling and Psychological Services, also known as CAPS, free and confidential. Psychologists, psychiatrists on staff. They help students with anxiety, depression, trauma, suicide, family, you name it. CAPS is here to assist the students. They have telecounseling, they have face-to-face, and they're available again, virtual and face-to-face. Technology Commons. If students have challenges or problems with technology, software repair, from their iPhone to their laptop, Apple, Mac, you name it, Tech Commons is here to assist them. Often they're much cheaper, if not free, for assistance. If there's some kind of software that the student needs, it's quite possible through Technology Commons that software can be obtained free. Any questions regarding technology, please direct your student to the Technology Commons. Staying connected is very important. This is not just for students. Parents, social media, the Advising Center has multiple social media platforms, as well as connecting viewers with other support offices and other events on campus, important deadlines and offerings to make sure our students stay engaged and stay aware. Just so you know, so students on campus, parents, there's digital signage, there's large TVs all over campus displaying important information. There's posters and flyers in the residence halls and in the classrooms. And my personal favorite is sidewalk chalk and stickers as you go from one place to another. Hopefully those students are not looking down at their phone as they're walking, can get good information written on the ground that they're walking on. Feel free to take a picture of this slide, take a freeze frame. These are important dates for the spring semester. Classes begin on the 25th. Your student can add and drop classes through the 25th up to 5 o'clock on January 29th. We get 5th week grades for our students. So March 1st, we know how they're doing. It's a small snapshot into the semester. Students with a C- or lower, we reach out to those students asking that they meet with us so we can talk about support offices on campus, important deadlines, course withdrawal deadlines, or just how to engage with the instructor and have a conversation to get caught up in the course and be successful at the end of the term. Advising Day is March 9th. There is no class on Advising Day. So on the 9th, if you ask your student, did you go to class today? And they say no, the acceptable answer is no, I did not. That is the day students will want to meet with their faculty advisor to go over class registration and receive their alt-pin for the following term. Registration begins the following day on the 10th. However, our registrar assigns registration time tickets based on hours remaining for the degree. So even though registration may open on the 10th, that's going to be for our seniors who only have maybe one semester to go before they graduate. And then over the next 2.5 weeks, the registration windows are stretched out to that first semester student that may still have 105, 110 hours remaining for their degree program. March 19th is the last day to withdraw with a grade of W. After the 19th, the withdrawal deadline has passed and students will not be allowed to withdraw from a course after that date. May 7th is the last day of courses currently, and May 8th through the 14th are currently the scheduled exams. We also have information on the Advising Center website for parents and families. A lot of the information I've talked to you today is there. There's good information there with important dates and deadlines, campus resources to assist your student in connecting with needed offices across campus. Professional advisors, as I said earlier, made your students' first schedule. Through this orientation process, students are asked to meet with professional advisors during drop-in hours in early January. All professional advisors in the Advising Center are available 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, with virtual office hours. These are drop-in, one student at a time with the professional advisor to assist them. But we are here available walk-ins through Zoom Monday through Friday through our Zoom link, which is available on our website. So we make your student's schedule based on pre-registration. The student tells us if they are going to receive transfer credit or AP credit, if liberal studies classes are required, what their major is or majors are, if they're completing a minor or concentration as a pre-professional. Professional advisors build that first schedule for them. Once we build the schedule through the orientation process, they understand how they can view the schedule, as well as at the end of orientation, they can see how to receive their alt pin for schedule adjustment, which we also talk to them about how to add and drop classes as well. So this is where I'd like to have a little bit of fun with it, just to give you a little bit more information. I'm going to run through these pretty quickly. This would be much better in a physical environment where I can read your facial expressions and have fun, but I'm going to try and do this virtually, so let's see how it goes. So if you could choose, what would your student learn in college? And I'm only going to freeze here for a minute. You know, most people are thinking not to move home, how to get a job, how to manage their time, how to manage their finances, how to be a critical thinker, how to be connected, how to be engaged, how to open their mindset, or how to develop a growth mindset. So it's not an I can't, but it's an I haven't learned how to yet. All these opportunities are available to students at Western, but we have to get them engaged. And I say we, meaning professional advisors in my office, as well as you, the parent. So as your student comes to you with problems or questions or concerns, direct them to Western. We have clubs, organizations, activities, events, all helping your student in learning some of these things that you're thinking about. Helping your students grow. So during orientation, your student learns that their schedule's lousy. You already know that there's a schedule time frame where they can add and drop classes through that 5th week. Your students in bed when schedules are dropped for non-payment. Parents, if you don't know, there's a payment deadline. Your students learned about that through orientation. So on the day classes are canceled for non-payment, your student's still in bed asleep. What do? Do you log into their account and make the changes yourself? Do you make them up, wake them up and hand the list of classes that you've compiled? Do you wake them up and tell them go to my WCU and make the appropriate course changes? Or do you do nothing? I'm going to wait for a short pause for you to kind of read through those again. Some of you may be thinking witty things like I am right now. I'd love to say the answer is D, do nothing, but the answer is actually C. If you do nothing, sure, that's a life lesson. It's a hard lesson to learn. I prefer you to go with C. Wake them up, tell them to log into MyWCU and have them make the changes. And if they do make changes, again, run the degree audit, ask an advisor if you have any questions. Student calls you at the end of the first week. College is not right for them. They're miserable. They want to come home right now. What do? Tell them you miss them. Welcome them home with open arms. Give them a pep talk. Tell them how grown up they are. Tell them to go talk to a counselor and advisor to get to the bottom of it. Blame the roommate, the food, the teachers, the classes, the instructional modality, or E, listen and. The answer, listen, and honestly, listen and tell them to go talk to an advisor, because if there is something going on and they're not happy with something, talk to the advisor and we can assist them. If it's roommate issues, we'll recommend talk to residential living, to an RA or an RD. If it's the rigor of the courses, is it really the rigor? Is it just being overwhelmed with the initial start of the semester? Remind them of campus offices and encourage them from there. End of the semester, you think your students failed their classes and they won't come clean. What do? Call anyone at the university. After all, you pay the bill. Get your student's roommate to tell you their grades. Ask your student to give you permission via the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, also known as FERPA, so that you can discuss his or her grades with their academic advisor. Or D, ask your student to show you their grades. I know some of you are thinking, you pay the bill, after all, call the university, but we can't tell you anything from an advising standpoint. We can't even confirm if your student is enrolled without an information release pin. Your student, My WCU account, in the search bar, they can just type the word release and they can create an information release pin and provide you with that pin. Much like the pin for your debit card, when you call our office, tell us your student's name, and or their 9-2 number, their school ID number, and that release pin. As an advisor, I will tell you anything academically you want to know about the student. I don't have access to financial records. I don't have access to financial aid or if they have a financial hold on their account. But what I can tell you is if they have a hold on their account, I can tell you what their grades are currently showing in our system. And I can assist you with any questions that you may have. Now, with that, if you say, I want to know how my student's doing right now in a course, that information is not readily available to me. But what I can do is reach out to that student's instructors and get a snapshot of how they're doing, and I can follow up with you. That registration or information security release pin is vital for me to have a conversation with you because they are now the adults at this institution. But the first thing you should do is D, ask your student to show you their grades. All right, so we're here to help them. You're still at home, but we are in this together. So congratulate them on getting admitted into Western. They're still going to need your help. They're still going to come home to you on holidays, but just make sure they know that along the way, there's going to be some roadblocks and some bumps and hurdles. But when it comes down to it, communication is vital. The student needs to communicate with the advisor, with their instructors, as well as you, the parent. Because without the communication, we're not going to make sure that they are engaged with this institution and successful as a Catamount. With that said, I'd like to say, parents, welcome to the Catamount family. And if you have any questions at all, please reach out to the Advising Center. Our phone number is 828-227-7753. We're also available on our website. Individual professional advisor contact information is also listed on our website based on major. Questions, concerns, we're in this together. Thanks, and make sure we always say, go Cats.